Welcome back to Planet Doug. And I'm doing something a little bit unusual. Well, not unusual for people, but unusual for me, in that I'm heading out sort of close to the evening. And of course, as you saw from the video title, I'm sure I'm heading to a Ramadan Bazaar. And I've been planning this for a few days, trying to pick one of the bazaars to go to. And for a variety of reasons, I ended up settling on the one in Kampung Baru, which is why you see me here on the Saloma Link Bridge, because it heads into Kampung Baru. And I don't know a lot about Ramadan bazaars, how they work. How is this bazaar going to be different from a normal night market situation here in Kampung Baru? I don't really know. It could be almost exactly the same thing. We're going to find out in a minute. At first, I thought the evening was going to be canceled because there was heavy rain. I just passed over the river, and the river was very, very flooded, very high waters, and but it stopped raining. But man, is it humid. Wow, I don't know what's going on, but it doesn't feel hot, but I'm already dripping with sweat. So I just made it across the bridge, and there is Kampung Baru. And to be honest, I don't really even know where the bazaar is. I'm assuming it's on the main street, which is off in that direction somewhere. I think once I get down on a street level, there'll be people moving in over there, and then I will track it down, just follow the crowds. I'm on a very quiet road heading from the bridge in search of the Ramadan Bazaar. And I thought I would talk a little bit about Ramadan itself. Based on the reading that I've been doing, I came across quite a few fascinating things. And I think everyone in Malaysia knows these things. People in any Islamic country already knows these things. But maybe people in Canada might not even know some of the things I stumbled across about Ramadan. Some really interesting things that even I didn't know. I've been in countries in the past where Ramadan was taking place. In Guinea, in Africa, for example, and I was there for Ramadan celebrations. So I have some experience with it, but even I kind of came across some new thoughts when I was doing some reading just now. So one thing that maybe a Canadian may not know is that Ramadan is the holiday, is the celebration, but it's also the name of the month, the 9th month in the Islamic lunar calendar. The name of the month is Ramadan. Just like in English, we have February, January, December, September. This is the month of Ramadan. And the observance of Ramadan goes for the entire length of the month. And an interesting thing about that is the Islamic calendar is a lunar calendar, as I said, but it doesn't have any intercalation. So what I mean is, it goes out of sync with the solar calendar. So you've got the 12 months of the lunar year, but it drifts out of sync with the solar calendar. So in fact, Ramadan can happen at any time of year. It doesn't have a specific season, which I find so fascinating because I grew up with holidays like Christmas, and Christmas, of course, occurs in the winter, December 25th, and it never changes. And because of that, over history, certain things got associated with Christmas. There are songs about snow, for example, it's cold. And then every holiday in Canada is associated with a particular type of weather and a season. But Ramadan can happen in winter, can happen in summer, spring, fall, rainy season, dry season, because it moves all the way around the solar calendar all the time. So in fact, every year... Hello, how are you?
Good.
So every year, Ramadan takes place 11 days earlier than it did the year before. So if 100 years go by, 100 years times 11 days, it just goes around and around the calendar. And I remember that always took me by surprise when I was overseas before, because I would show up in a country and I'd land there, and, oh, it was Ramadan, because it was September, but then next year or a couple of years later, I'm somewhere and it's Ramadan, but it's happening in July. And it's like Ramadan keeps moving. And I find that really kind of interesting, that again, not a lot of people know about. And again, I think if you ask a Canadian, what is Ramadan all about? They probably would come up with the idea that you fast for the month. During daylight hours, you're not allowed to eat. So you are fasting during Ramadan. That's probably what everybody knows about it. But there's a lot more to it than that. So if you want to get into the meaning of Ramadan, as far as I understand it from my limited reading, I'm no scholar, obviously. Ramadan is the 9th month of the lunar calendar, and it is the holy month of Islam. And it is a holy month because in this month, the angel Gabriel visited the Prophet Muhammad and revealed to him the beginnings of the Quran. This, according to tradition, this happened in 610 AD. So that is where the holiness of the 9th month comes from, that the angel Gabriel revealed the Quran to the Prophet Muhammad. Another interesting fact about Ramadan is that it is one of the 5 pillars of Islam, that you have to observe the fasting during the month of Ramadan. And it's not just not eating. Fasting involves everything. No eating, no drinking, no smoking, no sex, nothing like that. So you're refraining from all of those things for all the daylight hours. When you come to a Ramadan Bazaar like this, and again, looking around me, you can see that it's all about food. The idea is that you've been fasting all day, and then when the sun goes down, you break your fast. And you can come to a Ramadan Bazaar to get something to eat. However, it's quite a bit more complicated than that. If you broaden your view a little bit, the month of Ramadan is really not just about not eating. That's really just a detail. It's more about what not eating means and how it makes you feel. So from what I've read, it is a month of prayer, a month of reflection, and a month of community, and a month of charity, which is a large part of the Islamic faith. So when you come to a Ramadan Bazaar, you are coming here to break your fast. You have something to eat after the end of a long day of not eating or drinking anything. But the original idea is more coming here to meet up with other people. It's a place for community as well. And then if there are people here that are poor or hungry, local people will share food with them. And as far as my understanding is, that's also part of the Ramadan tradition. So as I said, it is about fasting, but in a way it's more about not focusing so much on human appetites, to allow yourself to reflect, be more spiritual, be more thoughtful. And then you introduce ideas of community and of charity, helping others in your community. So yeah, there's a lot of things going on. It's not the same as just going to a night market. There's a lot of history involved and a lot more than just coming here to have some good food. So those are some of my thoughts about Ramadan. Maybe a couple others will occur to me as I get a few snacks. So one other thing I wanted to mention that I find really interesting is that I've already talked about how the lunar calendar affects Ramadan. It can move throughout the entire year. It can happen, like relative to the solar calendar, it can happen during any month of the year. One year it happens in February, according to the solar calendar, and it can happen in December, it can happen in July. Just it drifts throughout the year like that. But even the official beginning and ending of the month of Ramadan can shift a little bit, because historically and traditionally, Ramadan begins on the first sighting of the crescent moon, indicating the new month. The new moon indicates the start of the new lunar month. But of course, that can lead to disagreement around the world. You look up in the sky, you think you see the crescent moon, and someone else says, no, 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 that's not it yet. It's, you know, they can't see it. Maybe you have better eyesight. You see the crescent moon. So in different countries around the world, traditionally, Ramadan could start on at slightly different times, even on different days, which I find kind of fascinating, where the holiday starts when you can see the crescent moon when it first appears. But me, with my worsening eyesight, I'd probably start Ramadan a day late because I didn't see the crescent moon yet. But someone with better eyes would see it. Okay, all right. I think we are arriving where I wanted to be. The Bazaar Ramadan 2024. I think I needed a guide for this, perhaps. Someone who knows all these things. But the idea is you break your fast at a specific time. And it isn't the right time yet because the sun hasn't fully gone down. And yet this place, as you can see, is absolutely bustling. Anyway, let's dive into this maelstrom and see what happens. You can buy something along the way. I came across one of my favorite foods anyway, martabak, right? So we've got some guys here making martabak. Is that kacang? I don't know what kind of a martabak this is. I asked the guy, kacang, are those peanuts? But I don't think he doesn't speak any English. He just stared at me. So I don't know. Yeah, the issue for me is going to be, I guess you could buy all this food and then put it away and then take it somewhere else. I think that's what you would normally do because, as I said, it isn't time to break the fast yet. So this place isn't designed to buy food and then eat it right here. But as you can see, it's very crowded. Satay, very popular for Ramadan bazaars, I believe. This is a roti john. So I've seen a lot of references to roti john. Seems to be associated with Ramadan. So I might pick up one of those. So basically this is turning into a reconnaissance walk. I'm just walking through, looking at things and making a mental list, and then I'll come back through and then grab some of those and tuck them away like a squirrel and find a time and a place to try them later on. But yeah, you can get complete meals too, of course. All kinds of rice. Kway teow. Oh, look at this. They actually have, I love having big signs tell you, oh yeah, kway teow. That would be nice as well. I love that. Oh, shawarma. Look at that, shawarma. Huh. So I'm feeling good about my strategy. I'm coughing because they're cooking everywhere all around us, which is kind of cool. Very vibrant sort of atmosphere. But you do get like charcoal smoke and you breathe it in. You can hear people coughing all around me. We all went right by this barbecue. But yeah, my strategy, my Ramadan Bazaar strategy, go through here, look at everything, and then come back around. But I did get a cold drink because I really needed something. So this is a Thai green tea, really good. And there's the setting up ahead. Yeah. I was speaking with a woman way back at the beginning. She gave me I think she gave me a special tote bag as a souvenir for her business. And she was telling me that this is actually the oldest Ramadan Bazaar in Malaysia or in Kuala Lumpur. I hadn't heard that anywhere else. But it could very well be true. And one of the largest as well. She said there's something 190 different stalls or something like that. Anyway, there's a lot of them. And I've noticed a lot of them have Do It Now.
Hi.
Hello, how are you?
Chicken wing.
I am. Chicken wing. Looks good. We'll come back. I was saying that, yeah, I noticed a lot of these small stalls, they accept like touch and go, eWallet, Do It Now payments, which is really handy because I just realized as I was paying for my drink, I don't have a whole lot of small bills. I don't have change with me. So I was wondering how in the world am I going to pay for all these snacks? Should have planned ahead. But if you can pay with an e-wallet, the modern way, I guess. My gosh. As I said, my idea was just to go to the end and turn around and come back. But apparently there is no end. Look at that. I don't know if those white tents way down at the end are part of it or not. So my strategy, as I said, is I did a reconnaissance run, and now I don't really know what I want. I think I want a roti john, maybe a martabak, maybe some kind of a wrap. I don't have to eat it all today. I can save some of it for lunch tomorrow. And maybe something else will jump out at me, but I'm basically going to walk back through, buy a few things, and then there's actually a Cendol durian place over here where I think I can sit down and have Cendol. So that's the plan. And I have a mystery assistant. You won't see my assistant. My assistant has volunteered to follow me with the camera and record me buying a couple of things. So let's go see how this turns out. It's a little bit less crowded here, so not so many people. Nah. I don't know what to do. I'm not holding a camera. This is very strange. But I can actually look around and I don't have to worry about the camera. This is nice. I need an assistant all the time, I think. The funny thing about this also is almost everything here, I have it all the time. It's normal food for me. So I was trying to think what is a special Ramadan dish, but I don't know what those might be. I've taken over camera duties just for a minute. Oh, what have we got here? Oh, shawarma. I do like shawarma, but is that a Ramadan style food? But I'm also thinking in terms of something that's easy to just pack away rather than a full complicated meal. And I don't think it's time to break your fast yet, so you don't really want to buy a bunch of food and start eating it right here. So I've lost all control of the evening, but I am going to buy some chicken. This man I spoke to earlier, and he has a touch and go code, so I'm going to try and call up his business, scan his touch and go. Hopefully that's him. So I'm going to try to get some chicken now. Just got to get past here. Could I have One piece of chicken, like that?
Chicken, 7 ringgit.
Yep.
7 ringgit, one.
One. And I have your, is that you? I
Okay,
scan.
okay. This.
But is that you? Your business?
Yes.
Okay. It's 7 ringgit?
7 ringgit.
Like that?
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Terima kasih.
Okay, thank you. All right. So, sort of successful. Piece of chicken.
Chicken.
Thank you. And I paid with touch and go. So, modern Ramadan. Still thinking about the whole Ramadan strategy because, to be honest, this is a sort of meal that I'm more interested in. Like right here, you get all the different. You can get rice and then that delicious-looking sauce there, and then veggies, and you put it all together. Take that home. That would be a really good meal to me. But you can't really just buy all of this and then walk around with it that easily. You'd have to run home, have a nice table, get it all laid out. But that's like a full meal. And I guess I'm more looking for snacks. So I've got my piece of chicken there. And I'm looking for more snacks now. Let's see what's next. Yeah, this is the place where everybody was coughing because of the charcoal. Yeah, similar to the chicken that I just got. All right. So it doesn't make a lot of sense, but nothing I buy in the way of food ever does. I'm going to get a shawarma, I believe. Okay. I am shawarma. Oh, do you have this? Maybe I'll do that instead. How much is it? This one doesn't work with me. No. Okay. Terima kasih. Okay. So I have my shawarma. Looks good. I really love these. And I tried to pay like a modern person, but their system is not my system somehow. So I had to pay in cash, but that's okay. And believe it or not, the next thing I want to get is a roti john, which is kind of the same thing as a shawarma. But I love a good sandwich. So what can I do? Typical Planet Doug experience. I bought that shawarma, you know, tried to pay, couldn't pay, paid in cash. I walk away, I go like 50 feet, and a man comes running up behind me, says, "Oh, sir, you forgot your shawarma." After all that, I left the food on the table. I didn't even bring it with me. Luckily, nobody got it while I was gone. So, ooh, there's martabak. Still sort of on the hunt for this roti john place. Maybe we already walked by it. Oh. I think I found it. Roti john, KL. And they have a bunch of them. Ayam carbonara out of stock. All right.
Yes, 10 ringgit. Lamb and beef.
Ah, okay. This is beef?
Yes.
Daging.
Yeah.
And how much is it?
10 ringgit.
10 ringgit. Yeah, this is touch and go?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
Yes, QR.
QR. Okay. So I am going to get a roti john here, the beef roti john. Oop. I need glasses for my touch and go. Let's see if this works.
Let's see.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yes, it work.
Yep.
One, 10 ringgit.
10 ringgit. Confirm. Fingerprint. And yep.
Amirul Azim, yeah.
10
you,
ringgit.
sir.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Success. On Planet Doug, success is walking away from a table. You still have your phone, you still have your wallet, and you remembered to bring your food, and you didn't leave your GoPro behind. It's a lot to keep track of. That's why you need an assistant. At least you don't forget your GoPro. And I think to round out Ramadan Bazaar experience, you should have something sweet as well, right? But I have so much food right now, I'm not going to go for a sweet thing. The Cendol will have to be my dessert. I'll have dessert before dinner, I guess. Well, it would also not be a Planet Doug experience without at least a little bit of rain. It was raining this afternoon pretty heavily. I heard thunder from inside my room at the hotel, and I thought the whole Ramadan Bazaar would have to be canceled, but the rain did stop for a while. But it's back. Just sprinkling though. I think we'll be okay. I don't know if I've mentioned this yet, but I was talking about the woman at the very beginning when I first arrived here gave me a package, a present. And I wasn't sure what it was. I thought at first it might have been a shirt, but then it occurred to me it was probably a tote bag. And that would be so useful because I thought with a tote bag like that, I could go through the bazaar, pick up all the little snacks, put them in the tote bag. So I unwrapped it, assuming it was a tote bag, but it turned out it was an apron, like a cooking apron, barbecue apron. So, yeah, not exactly useful with my lifestyle, but yeah, a tote bag would have been really nice. Just for one night anyway. A Ramadan Bazaar tote bag. So that is the main snack street for this Ramadan Bazaar over there. It sort of ends at this point, a gate to keep out all the motorcycles. And here there's parking. But then there are a lot more tents over here. They look more to be like produce, more traditional vegetable produce market stalls. And then over here is where I'm going. I noticed this place right away because they have seating and Cendol, durian Cendol. So that's where I'm going to get out of the rain as soon as I can. Whew, yeah, the rain's coming down heavier and heavier. And this Cendol place actually has two areas for seating. So I'm over here. My mystery assistant is getting us a durian Cendol. So there's seating on this side where I am. I chose this strategically with a flag behind me. And then the other seating area is over there. And here are all my treasures. Roti John, of course, and shawarma, and chicken. A very odd selection, but yeah, not sure when I'll dive into those. One interesting aspect to the bazaar here, that when I was ordering a lot of food or talking with people or trying to talk with people, what I discovered, or just looking around, is that a lot, maybe even the majority of the people preparing the food were not Malaysian. They were workers from who knows where, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, all the countries that migrant workers come from to work here in Malaysia. So it was the very first person, as I mentioned, that I talked to about the martabak. I wanted to know what the ingredients were. I thought I recognized a peanut sauce. So I was very proud of myself that I remembered the word for peanut, kacang. I think it's the same in Malay as Bahasa Indonesia. So I asked him kacang, but he just gave me a blank stare. He had no idea what I was saying. And then I looked at him and I realized, oh, he's not even from Malaysia. And then I noticed almost all the people preparing the food aren't actually from Malaysia. So yeah. Very interesting. I never thought of that coming to the Ramadan Bazaar. So my mystery assistant made an executive decision, and we got mango Cendol, not the durian. I trust her decision making. It's probably a good call. I'll show you what it looks like. So there it is, mango cendol. Then we have a second bowl, so we're going to split this, and I'm sure it is going to be delicious. So I'm going to dive into this. I don't remember a whole lot about cendol, but I mean, it's ice, coconut milk maybe, and these green noodly things, corn. Cendol is kind of a fascinating snack because the average North American would never think of putting these ingredients together. And yet it's really delicious when you put it all together. But for a North American, it just looks weird. It's like, what is this? But when you live in this part of the world, you learn to love it. My mystery assistant made another executive call saying that here, since we ordered the cendol, it's probably okay to snack a little bit on what we ordered. So since we have the opportunity, this is my shawarma. Chicken or beef? I think I got the beef shawarma. I can't even remember. There's a fan here. Everything's blowing away. All right, take a bite and see what's going on here. Chicken, yeah. Nice and spicy. I wasn't expecting that. There's actually a little bit of a bite to it, a spiciness. Very good. I'm going to set that aside because we're going to sample real quick. Look at that. Okay. Yeah, this one was the beef. So I ordered the roti john, and it has a D on it, meaning daging. So this is beef. Good grief. I feel like I'm unwrapping something very special. And it's heavy. This would be a meal all on its own. Oh my goodness. That is oh, it's all cut up into pieces. So there's a roti john. Look at that. And it's already pre-cut. So I thought it'd be like a foot-long Subway, which it is, but it is conveniently almost cut into little pieces. Look at that. Wow, that is a lot of beef in there. A lot of daging. That is really good. Roti john. I don't know anything about roti john. I don't know the history of it. Why is it called roti john? I think I looked it up one time long ago, but I've forgotten. But anyway, that is very good. So, my mystery assistant must be getting hungry. So, I'm going to put this away, and we're going to have the cendol. I just wanted to sample it on camera, talk about it a little bit. Both of these are really, really good. And the one other thing I bought was the chicken, but we all know what chicken is. I think I'll just leave that in my knapsack for now and enjoy this. Maybe I can convince my mystery assistant to have a piece of roti john. We'll see. All right, so gonna dive into the cendol, and I'll check back in later. Well, that was actually a pretty successful evening. I enjoyed that quite a bit. Chaotic, of course, pretty crowded. I was sort of expecting that, and I don't know about my food choices, but I was just in the mood for something like a sandwich that I could eat easily. And so I grabbed that roti john, the chicken wrap, the shawarma, and a piece of chicken. I still have the chicken and most of the shawarma. That'll be for tomorrow. I just had the roti john with my cendol. So yeah, it was nice. It was really nice experience. Enjoyed this quite a bit. It's 8:30 now. Myself and my mystery assistant are heading back to the LRT station. You can hear the call to prayer, And if I spin the GoPro around, you can see the Petronas Towers up there, beautifully lit up. And you can see that things have already wound down. And that is it for the night. I thought I'd come back up here to the Saloma Link Bridge. I didn't actually need to come to the bridge because I'm heading home by the LRT, which is behind me. But I thought since the video started here, sort of in the daytime, I would end it here in the nighttime. You get the bridge changing colors all around us, very scenic. And you get all the guys at either end taking the portraits with their fancy smartphones with all the lights. I find that kind of fascinating. Here you have to thread your way through all of the selfie takers. And I just reached the far end of the bridge. This is a good spot to spin the GoPro around one last time. Capture the Petronas Towers at night, all lit up. And with that, I think I'll end it there. And from a Ramadan Bazaar in Kampung, Baru, I'll say good night and see you in the next video.